Now, I've said this before, and I stand on my opinion that hurt people do not hurt people. Not all of them, not the majority. Because, hurt people, they know what it feels like to be hurt. And the last thing that they want to do is hurt someone else. No, I believe broken people are the ones who hurt people. Those who, yes, they have been hurt, yet instead of choosing to heal, they consciously choose to project that hurt onto others. Their pain, it turns them into a broken person. Now, I see them as broken because they refuse to heal. They actually get angry at others who choose to heal. They try their best to force someone who's healing back into a space that they've outgrown. And from my experience, that's only because they themselves refuse to outgrow their space that has them trapped in hidden pain. For example, let's say at one time you felt unhealthy physically and you decided to change your eating habits, you decided to be more active, and you decided to just lose a few pounds, lose some weight. So that's what you set out to do, and you accomplished that. It wasn't easy. Matter of fact, you put in the work on a daily basis. Those smothered ribs with barbecue sauce that you used to love so much, you gave that up. You pushed yourself to replace that with avocado toast. That soda that you drank every day, you traded that in for water or maybe green tea. One better decision at a time, and especially at the beginning. It was extremely difficult to have that discipline, but you made your mind up and you did it. Every day, no matter what, no matter how many times you were tempted, you did it. Instead of eating and laying down, you took a nice walk, or maybe you went to the gym. Now, we all know that being more active could definitely be challenging at times, but one day at a time, you did it. You did it. You slowly changed some of those things in your life, and now you see the results. You look better, but more importantly, you actually feel better. You're proud of yourself because you know how much work it took. And you remember all those times that you had to push yourself to make that better choice. You no longer categorize yourself as someone who needed to be healthier. Now you just maintain it. But as far as you're concerned, you're in a different category now. You earned it. You feel so good and life looks so much different now. But here comes someone who remembers you when you weren't so healthy. Because you guys maybe used to go eat out, together at the buffet or whatever. So they see you and they ask you, how come you don't go to the buffet anymore? They say, hey, they added some meat lovers pizza now. So, what about Saturday? You want to go hang out at the buffet on Saturday? But you explain to them that you wanted to do something different for yourself. And, you just want to improve your health so you could feel better. So you basically cook at home now. You change your diet. Now, naturally, you assume that they'll be happy for you, right? Well, if they say something like, well, you look like you need a sandwich. You guys know those backhanded so-called compliments that I'm talking about. Now remember, you didn't throw anything in their face about improving your health. You simply answered the question that they asked. But somehow, some way, you're mocked for making a personal, better decision for yourself, as if your growth somehow affects their personal decision. Now, I know that's a lightweight example, but you guys get what I'm saying. I mean, why take that route? Why mock someone because they choose something different that they thought was better for them? Is that really something to mock someone for? And this happens to so many people when they decide to do certain things better for themselves. They are actually mocked for it. Not once have you tried to have any opinion on the other person's life choices because that's their right. And that's not really your lane to have any say-so about their personal choices. But why isn't that reciprocated? Isn't that odd? Or what about individuals who have abused any substance? And then one day, for whatever reason, they decide they just don't want to do that anymore. They want to get clean. Drugs, alcohol, whatever. They just decide they want a different life. So they choose different. And again, you run into someone that maybe you used to get high with or maybe you used to have drinks with, and that person asks, where have you been? Because they don't see you at the bar anymore. So because they ask, you just explain to them that you went clean. You don't come around anymore because that's just not your thing anymore. And you don't want to push your new narrative onto anyone. And also, you just don't want to be in that environment because you're still healing and you're doing your best to be disciplined. Now, all you did was answer the question of why you don't come around anymore. How come you don't come to the bar anymore? But you may get that awkward look. And maybe even they'll do something bugged out, like pull out some drugs and start smoking right there in front of you. Sometimes people will go as far as to tell other people that you think that you're better than everyone else for some reason. Or maybe every time you see them, they keep offering you drinks or drugs. even though you've told them time after time after time that you're just not into that anymore. Now, when you do decide to hang out, maybe you and your friends all go together for dinner or something, but that same person constantly brings up the days of you two when you used to get drunk together, when you used to get high together. Now, don't get me wrong, you get it, you understand. You understand that they still drink, and it's not a big deal because that's their decision, and it's nothing against their decision. So there really shouldn't be anything against your decision. So fine, they still drink, they still get high, and you don't knock them for that because you've been there yourself and you're in no position to judge anybody. But you've come a long way and you prefer not to be stuck in a conversation about the past. You're not judging anyone, but you definitely do not want people to gaslight you into constantly being stuck in the past just because someone else wants you to be. I've been through this myself, guys, so I know how you feel when you make tough decisions to do things differently in your life. But you may run into someone who struggles with your personal growth and now they target you. I guess because they feel maybe that you look at them differently. I'm not sure. But I've come to learn that there's really not much that you can do about that. In situations like that, I think you should just focus on you and just keep it moving. You know, making better choices for yourself, it doesn't mean that you're any better than anyone else. It just means that you decided to make better choices for yourself. That's it. And the fact of the matter is 9 times out of 10, you don't even think that way at all. Like 0. You don't think you're any better than anyone at all. You're too focused trying to be disciplined, because being disciplined when you're trying to make life changes is a lot of work. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes you get tempted, and those are the times you have to really put your foot down with yourself. So you're focused on you. You are not focused on everybody else's decisions. If someone makes a better decision for themselves, you're happy for them. And if they don't, then in your heart you just hope that one day that'll be something that they aim to do. But you don't look at them as if they're any better or worse than you. Look, guys, don't allow anybody to gaslight you into reverting back to who they want you to be, or do the things that they want you to do. Don't do it. If anyone prefers a version of you that you yourself no longer resonate with, well, look, you may have to make some really tough choices about the company that you keep. I'm just going to be honest about it. Now, please be advised, I'm just going to throw it out there because it's a fact. I've gone through it myself, that in some cases people will take offense to you distancing yourself or even putting up some boundaries. Now, for that, you have to go see medical experts on that part, because I honestly don't understand that at all. I'm no doctor. Everything I'm speaking about when it comes to things like this, I'm speaking as a survivor, and I always say that. So I'm no medical professional, but please, there are medical professionals out there that can help you understand things like this. Because it's kind of like you're being bullied or gaslit. And if you refuse and choose to grow, well, for some reason you become enemy number 1. Again, guys, seek medical professional help for unpacking that logic, because I just don't have a clue on what that's about. Nevertheless, make those healthy choices, guys. You already know good and well doing better for yourself, it doesn't put you in the mindset of feeling like you're any better than anyone else at all. So please don't let anyone make you feel like that's what you're doing, because that's not what you're doing. I hope that's not what you're doing. And for the most part, I just honestly believe that's not people's intent to do better for themselves, to look down on anyone else. Or at least that should not be the intent. It's a projection gaslighting technique. So please don't bother feeding into it. Please don't. Keep your eyes on your own prize and leave that kind of stuff alone. You know, it took me a while to get it through my thick head that there will always be someone, somewhere, for whatever reason, that sees your growth or your distancing yourself to grow as some form of slight to their decisions. And that's just not something that you can help clarify for them, because that's their interpretation of your growth. Just try your best to focus on those who celebrate your healthy choices and they're supportive. And if, let's say, you have to go in hermit mode to make some kind of positive changes in your life, they give you hugs when you come out of hermit mode and you made certain choices in your life that actually benefit you for the better. They understand when you decline certain invites, because that thing, whatever it is, it just doesn't resonate with you anymore. Now, if they still do those things that you don't, it doesn't anger them. They're actually happy for you. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to stop doing those things just because you stop doing those things. It doesn't always work that way. And plus, that's not not your decision to make, and you don't do it for someone else to do it. Everybody has their own decisions to make. Not everybody's going to choose avocado toast and put down those smothered ribs. Not everybody's going to do it, okay? Some people love their smothered ribs. They don't care if you have gone full-blown vegan. They are going to eat their smothered ribs. But they're not going to stop being your friend because you've gone vegan. They're not going to mock you because you've gone vegan. They're not going to do that. I'm just saying, you guys will respect each other's decisions, and you won't even see anything wrong with having differences. I mean, it's natural. It won't change a thing in your interactions because it's a mutual respect. I've been in situations to where I had a vegan friend, and we used to go out to eat all the time. I would order my food, which back then used to have meat involved all the time. She would order her vegan meals, and we would sit and have a blast. It didn't affect our friendship not one bit. When I decided to give up meat, she was happy for me. But when I was eating meat, she didn't degrade me. She didn't do anything like that. And just because I was eating meat, I didn't make her feel like she thought she was better than me or anything like that. Actually, it inspired me. Her actions inspired me. I wasn't mad about it. I didn't feel like she was looking down at me or anything. It was very inspiring. Between her being a vegan and her doing yoga all the time, it was inspiring because I didn't do any of that. And even to this day, I'm still not full vegan. I'm a pescatarian, but I'm still not full vegan. But I know I've come a long way. But be that as it may, my personal decisions or her personal decisions or anybody's personal decisions should not affect the next person, especially if somebody is trying to do better for themselves. That should not cause any kind of feathers to be ruffled. It took me a while to learn that, guys. It just took me a while to learn that not everyone is going to clap for you. Not everyone is going to clap for your growth, and that's okay. But for those who do, please let me say this. Thank you. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for understanding the main thing, that I'm not crazy, and neither are you.